And I'm Glennis.
So today we both will be talking about the importance of hygiene related to the usage of masks. There are 5 things that we will be talking about. First of all, we will talk about our research problem and research questions. Next, we will talk about the evidence to support. Third, we will talk about the result that we get from the survey. Then we will talk about our conclusion and recommendation product. And lastly, we will talk about the things we learned. But before that, what is COVID-19? Do you know that it's dangerous? Coronavirus disease, or COVID-19, is an infectious disease caused by the SARS-CoV-2 virus, where most people will experience variative symptoms and recover with different treatments as well. This virus affects different people in different ways and at different ages. It was transferred to other people through contaminated surfaces and to our mouth, nose, or eyes. Particularly, those with poor ventilation are riskier than outside locations. Activities that cause more particles to be ejected from the mouth, such as singing or heavily inhaling during exercise, raise the chance of transmission. Then how to prevent COVID-19? There are ways that we can do to prevent the spreading of this virus. Wearing masks is one of them, which can be used as a part of a comprehensive plan of measures to defeat transmission and save lives. But the use of masks alone is not sufficient to provide enough level of protection against COVID-19. We need to limit ourselves by staying safe and taking some simple precautions such as social distancing, keeping rooms well ventilated, avoiding crowds, and often wash our hands. Remember to use face masks with clean hands only. Do you know that putting masks on the table causes low hygiene? Why and how do we keep our mask hygiene? The main simple thing to prevent COVID-19 is wearing the mask wherever and whenever we go outside our house. We can't just use any mask without any procedures and keep it hygienic. Therefore, our group decided to choose this topic about how far do teenagers care about the importance of hygiene related to the usage of masks, because we see not many people, especially teenagers, concerned about the hygiene of the mask, which is directly contacted to our face that can transfer the viruses into our body. To prove this, there are evidence to support. First, in an RCT, Cowling et al. Investigated that the hygiene of masks seemed to prevent viruses when implanted within 36 hours of index patient symptoms onset. Next, RCT findings by Ilo et al. Suggest that the hygiene mask may reduce respiratory illnesses in shared living settings and reduce the impact of the virus. Lastly, the authors noted that their study shows mask and hand hygiene have similar impacts on primary incidence of infections with the primary pandemic situation, so transmission of viruses between persons may be significantly decreased by this intervention.
So our group has already done research and has 20 respondents by using Google Form to collect feedback. Out of 20 respondents, there are 10 males and 10 females. The respondents are from teenagers with the age of 13 to 20 years old. For the first question about how important is the hygiene of a mask, 90% of teenagers agree that the hygiene of a mask is very important, while the other 10%, 5% of them said that it's not important, and 5% said that it's normal. Related to the change of mask in a day, 25% of teenagers very often change their mask, while 45% of teenagers just oftenly change it, and 30% of them only sometimes change their mask. For the next one, 60% of teenagers agree that they do not care about the hygiene of a mask. This is because they are lazy, feel wasteful if they change it, and use it only as a fashion item or formality rather than protection against the virus. For example, when they eat outside, they will just put their mask on top of the table and don't properly close it, or just put it in their bag, which is not a good choice either. From the survey that we do, we can conclude that teenagers are aware that the hygiene of a mask is very important, but they don't really care about it. So, teenagers should be required to wear masks because most of them are influenced by the people surrounding them. This makes it not hygienic because they will wear it when people surrounding them are wearing masks and take them off after seeing lots of people around them are not wearing the mask. When they do this, it will decrease the hygiene of the mask, since the mask is contaminated with the items that are touched. As we know that putting masks on the table causes low hygiene. So how do we maintain the hygiene of a mask? So here, we have a recommendation product to keep the mask hygiene, which is a mask holder. It's a box with UV light to kill germs and reduce viruses on the mask. It has a unique shape which is triangular like a sandwich. It's completed with a battery to keep the UV light turns on. And next we also have the magnet to open and close the mask holder. Interesting? Let's check on how does it work. It's very simple. You just need to put your dirty mask on the mask holder. Then when you close the mask holder, the UV lights will automatically turn on, and it's a process where the UV light will neutralize the viruses. And when you open back the mask holder because you want to wear the mask again, it becomes a clean mask and it's hygiene. As you can see, the left one shows dirty mask, which is not hygiene, while the right one shows clean mask, which is hygiene. It becomes hygiene with the help of the UV light. From this project, as we're working in groups, we learn to listen and respect other people's ideas and opinions to find the center point of the answers. And when our friend is not understanding something or asking questions, we can help them by giving our own opinion. It helps us to improve our skills in summarizing, as we need to summarize it in our own words, and it also improves our communication skills by communicating with different people. Not only that, we learn to have analytical thinking, which is to be more analytic in identifying claims, evidence, and giving reason. All the strengths that we get in teamwork will improve not only our skills, but also how we will work in a team later on in the future. It's the end of the presentation, and our group just want to say, my mask protects you, your mask protects me.